Hi, my name is KnowGo and I am from KnowGo, which is a company in Mauritius, and we market the Mauritius Machine. The purpose of this video is to show you the Mauritius Machine by one example, and we will show you how that example was designed. So let's switch to the example. The example that I've chosen to show you is an application for building or construction permit. It follows the Danish building and construction permit process, but this process exists in every country, and it's typically something the local government is willing to handle for the citizen. Now, excuse me, the first thing is, before I explain in detail what you see, I'll just fill the first step. The first step is the applicant and applicant's role. And you will notice that I have a form here, and it corresponds to that particular step in the left-hand menu. And the left-hand menu shows you the phases of this process, and you can see that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phases from beginning to actually having finished the construction project. So typically in the Mauritius Machine we would have long end-to-end workflows which take you all the way to the success of what you are about to do, in this case building a house. So we don't just give you the application, we help the caseworker process it, etc. The menu will show the progression of the workflow, and you can navigate in it. I'll show that in a moment, or you can just let yourself be guided, and if you click outside the menu it will highlight where you are in the flow. And in this case I'm on the first step, which is called applicant and applicant's role. So let's say that I'm a private person. When I click that, it will enable some fields on that form which pertain to private persons only, whereas if I had said that I was a company, it would show me some company information. Now I will say that I'm a private person and fill my name, and the browser recognizes it because I have done this before I started the video. So I don't have to type everything, and my civil person registration number is this in Denmark. Before I started the video, excuse me, I filled the applicant's address field, which is where I live currently in Denmark. As you can see, we can collapse groups and expand groups, and by default it will expand groups where I have to do something. You will notice that there's a help text field here, which if I scroll down, it will follow me, so the help is always visible to me. And there might be help texts on an individual field as well, in which case it will appear as a mouse over on the eye here. Now, when I submit this form, excuse me, I can choose to submit it by pressing apply, in which case I will stay, and I'll do that. But if I had pressed next, excuse me, I would have submitted it and gone on to the next step. But I think I'll just stop now, and you can notice that the step has completed, in that I have submitted everything I need to do on that step, but I'm still at the step. If I had pressed next, I would now be on this step. I will just now quickly show you how this form has been auto-generated from Excel, in which we specify the process matrix. This is the process matrix that you have just seen in the designer in Excel. And the way it's specified is, you see the workflow structure here. And you see the step that I was at is this row, and you see the name of the step, applicant and applicant's role. So this field is what will appear in the menu, and the structure here, you see welcome, and underneath welcome you have 3 activities, these 3 including invite architect, and these are the 3 steps in the menu. So if you want to add a step, you simply, if I want to add a step, I simply press or highlight a row, and I go to the designer's menu and I say insert row, and by doing so I will add a step, and it will show me that I need to uniquely name it. We normally name by the numbering here, so now the step is 112. It's a uniquely named step, currently similar to the one from which I copied it. Now I won't do detailed editing now, so I will delete that step again. Okay, but that's how you insert an activity. Activities have everything here has language layers, and you will notice that I could have gotten a Danish language layer as well. And this I do by switching to Danish. Then you will notice that all the texts here switch. If you are familiar with Danish, you will see that this is the Danish equivalent. I'll switch back to English. If you choose a language for which the designer has not made texts, it will pull forward the default texts, in this case the English text. So if I had chosen French, it would give me the English text for the content. Then you can see there's a role grid here where there are four E's marked in that row, and it means that there are 4 roles which can execute the step. And I am the startup role, the resident, and I can execute the step, but I could have let my architect do that. This I'll show you in a moment. We will invite the architect and see that the architect can do the step. So we typically put E's for the architect. Wherever the resident can do something, he can also let the architect do it, but we have said that the architect is not allowed to sign. So this will govern who is allowed to execute the steps. If you don't put anything, you will be able to see the step. So it means that, for instance, the caseworker in this row can see the step but not execute it. And the way that works is I have opened the caseworker's window here, and if we go to that step, you will notice it is white, but I can click on it, and so the caseworker can see everything here. Now it is read-only, so therefore the application will collapse the groups. That's the convention. But you can see what the applicant has done, but there's no way you can change it. It's read-only. You will notice that the apply button is grayed out, and you can, but still. So this is how you interpret the empty cell. If I had put an X, I would have denied it, so the step would not have appeared there. But that's bad practice in many cases. You want to give people a good overview of what is going on and what other roles do. Then in the decision grid here, we have 3 S's, meaning that there are 3 columns where we set that variable. Each column is a variable, and it's decision variables, these ones. So you have a variable saying this is a person, this is a company, and do you wish an architect to be involved. And these 3 checkboxes should appear on this step. You simply add a decision variable by adding a column, and in this case I will add this column, and it will be a copy of the one from which I highlight. And if I do like this, and I have to call this something else, wish architect 2, for instance, wish architect 2, and it must be called D1111. So then there are no more red markings here. So this is now a new uniquely named decision variable for which I have put a checkbox on the first step. I can put a checkbox on the second step as well by doing so. But I will remove it again. But this should hopefully explain to you how easy it is to add a variable. And the way you apply the variable and thereby get it to generate the form is to put the S's there. The star will mean that it is required. So that's why these 3 checkboxes appeared. You see 2 checkboxes required, the person and the company, and whether you wish to involve an architect, not required. That's S star, and ordinary S. Now there was show hide logic, so if I click this, the company checkbox disappears. And that's because in the screen row you specify that it is relevant only if not D11. So if I don't, as long as I have not checked the person, this field will appear. and as long as I have not checked the company,